Okay, we can speak to Rami Khouri. He's co-director of global engagement at the American University of Beirut. He joins us now from Cambridge in Massachusetts. Thank you for joining the programme. So as we've been hearing, the Israeli army has been focused on Jenin for some time now. We've heard of several raids over the last few months, but the scale of this particular one seems to be on another level.
Yes, it is, and it's because the scale of the Israeli colonial assault on occupied Palestine, the West Bank, has itself been ratcheted up to a much higher level in which not only the Israeli army and the government are involved, but gangs of freelance thugs, settlers, who are set loose to burn villages and kill people and intimidate people, drive them out of their villages, with the support of the Israeli government. So what you're seeing in Jenin is just a natural, organic response to a heightened level of Israeli colonial violence, which has been going on really for a century, since the 1920s, 1930s. But as the Israelis get more intense, especially with this new government, this right-wing violent government, the response is also being ratcheted up. And what you're seeing in Jenin, this development of small groups of young men who spontaneously create their own resistance armed groups, is also being copied in other parts of the occupied territories, in Nablus and Ramallah and Tulkarm and other places. So what we're seeing is something that has happened before. It's not the first time. In 1938, under British control, one minor British official was killed in his office under the British mandate. And the next week, the British came in, told all the people to get out of Jenin, and they blew up a quarter of the houses in the village, 25%. They just blew them up. So people in Jenin have experienced this with previous occupiers, but the level of intensity of the Israeli Zionist assault is far more than they've ever experienced before. And this is unfortunately a natural outcome of the nature of this conflict, that people are going to kill each other in violent ways. But the difference is that the Israelis have such disproportionately greater power and total immunity at the UN because of the US and other vetoes, that they can do anything they want. And they're doing that. They're doing whatever they feel they want to do, however extreme it is. And nobody is holding them accountable, and therefore the Palestinians feel that they've got to do what they can at any level.
When you say do what they can, I mean the Palestinian groups in Jenin camp, they are getting stronger. I mean the resistance itself appears to be getting stronger, which is presumably why we're seeing the Israeli army using heavier machinery, helicopters, and so on. I wonder if you see that as a good thing, though. I mean, the fact that these groups are getting stronger, because inevitably it is ordinary people who end up being caught in the crossfire.
Well, yes, and the other side of that is that ordinary people get dehumanized by a foreign occupation, and therefore what you're seeing is a kind of a mutual dehumanization where Israelis and Palestinians will do whatever they feel they have to do to achieve their goals. The difference is that the Palestinians are occupied by the Israelis. The Israelis came in and occupied the Palestinians. The Israelis willfully, by policy, are trying to get the Palestinians out of all of Palestine. They've been trying since they convinced the British in 1917 to do the Balfour Declaration, and the British said they could have a homeland, a Jewish homeland, they promised them. And this has been a policy that's been consistent for Zionism and then the state of Israel. From the Palestinian side, it's purely self-defense, that the people in Jenin camp were driven out, most of them from Haifa in 1948, and they've been repeatedly attacked by the Israelis. Then one of the reasons the Israelis are so vicious in attacking Jenin and so cruel in cutting off the water and not letting people go out and get food or medical treatment, not letting the ambulances get through. One reason is that in the famous Battle of Jenin that took place in 2002 during the Second Intifada, that was the beginning of the modern period of Jenin youth organizing for resistance. And unusually, in the battle that took place there over a period of weeks, 23 Israelis were killed and 52 Palestinians were killed. I mean, that ratio is unheard of in this kind of colonial situation. Usually you get one Israeli killed for 10 Palestinians killed. So there's a deep anger among the colonial apartheid rulers of Israel and the managers of Israel about what the people of Jenin have done, similar to their feeling about the people of Gaza, and they want to punish them. But every time they try to punish them, they come back stronger and the resistance expands.
Okay, Rami Khoury, appreciate your insight. Co-director of the Global Engagement at American University of Beirut, speaking to us there from Cambridge in Massachusetts. Thank you.